was a gay bromance.
It was gay. It was a gay man.
They were gay for each other, and it was
Hello.
cute.
Welcome.
Welcome back.
This is the Pitch of Discontent. This is no longer the weekly roundup. I'm calling this the release roundup.
I really liked the Only Jams as the name.
We were going to go with Only Jams. However, I Googled it and there are
several
people doing music-related things with Only Jams. And one guy on YouTube that does exclusively mountain bike content with
but
Only
there are
Jams.
also several other podcasts named like The Pitch and variations of that.
True.
Like that one baseball one.
Yeah.
Because it's
but at least
a pitch.
At least this way, like, we were already established, so I didn't want to like jack someone else's shit. So
no, that would be pretty fucked. Yeah,
it would be pretty fucked. But
we shouldn't swear
release
this
roundup.
early.
That's what we've got going for us.
Roundup.
Roundup.
All right. Well, what's the release roundup of the last 2 weeks?
Oh, hey! Don't be so easy to get into it.
I want to go watch The Last of Us.
She's impatient, not because she doesn't love you and she doesn't want to do the show.
No, but you guys get it.
She really wants to go watch.
It's the episode
The
where
Last of Us.
You know, that pivotal thing that happens early on in the second game of The Last of Us that killed us all in our hearts and died, and we are dead inside because of And I would like to go be dead inside some more about it. Okay.
Okay. Well, I guess.
I'm sorry. I love you guys. I'm happy to be here.
This is our first episode from our break. We're now doing a release roundup, which will be on like a fortnightly-ish schedule.
Yes, because I'm pregnant.
Because Paige is pregnant. We covered that on another episode. You're welcome. I guess now that we're back from break, do you have anything that you want to shout out? You had a whole week off the show. Do you have something you want to chat about?
What happened in that week? Oh, a lot of Coachella-related things.
Speed played Coachella. That was pretty sick.
I know.
Shout out to the boys. Gang called Speed.
Friends of the
100%
show.
Sydney shit.
Yeah, I'm stoked. Scal played, was it Colbert?
You posted about it and you called it the Colbert Report, which is funny because that was his show, but he's now host of The Late Show.
Oh, yeah, I always forget that.
Yeah, they switched it, but it's still Colbert.
No one gives a shit. It's the same.
It's still Colbert.
Thing.
It's still the Colbert
I
Report.
also feel like it must be noted that you would have had to have made that mistake too, because you proof everything I post on the internet. So
I reposted it. I didn't give a shit.
You don't get to be like, it's funny because you did the wrong thing. You are in it with me, bitch.
She made a mistake. She did the wrong thing.
What the heck?
Yeah, look, lots of stuff happened.
That was pretty crazy. My best friend got married. So
shout out to Hannah and Dave. OG friends of the pod.
Yeah, some of the earliest supporters of the pod getting
We love.
betrothed.
We love seeing them get married. That was sick.
I mean, it's no the Jungle Giants shout out, but you know, sorry that we're not as famous as some of your other friends. Okay.
Shout out to Tristan, who is not listening to the show.
No, Tristan is busy.
Tristan is busy.
Side stage at someone else's show.
Correct. Okay. Well, do you have any shout outs, or are you just we're just recapping?
Katy Perry went to space.
Yeah, she sure did. She sure did.
That woman that stole that monastery from those nuns went to space.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
The woman that brought us such hits as "You're So Gay" and "I Kissed a Girl." And you know what? I also don't think she ever kissed a girl.
No, I don't think she did.
She's pretty like religious.
And if she ever did, she didn't mean it.
Yeah, I don't think she's tasted cherry chapstick. Benny Blanco has, and he wrote that song. So
yes,
I think
he wrote a lot of them.
He wrote most of that first album, but I just can't remember if that was on the first album or not.
But he's also a Zionist.
Yeah. Really upset about that.
Not sure how I feel
always
about
loved Benny Blanco, and then he went to a like a not just like I'm a Zionist, like a Zionism party for Zionists. It's kind of like
not great.
Really signposting the fucking
look.
Genocide there, but
yeah, bad look.
Yeah, so I guess that's probably it as far as music news goes. There's probably other things we're missing, but
a lot happens in a week. It's hard to kind of keep track of all this shit unless you like actively make notes. I was making notes for this show and I had to remember like, oh, what releases came out not just last week, but the week before. And I had to like go through my stats to
You
find out.
can't miss any good ones.
No.
The
But
stats.
I guess records to shout out. We've got the new record from Leatherman, Turn You On, which we shouted out on a previous episode. That record is out in full. You can go listen to it. It rocks.
Not to be confused with the Kensington or other multi-tools. Leatherman.
Not a Gerber tool.
Not a Gerber.
The Leatherman.
The Leatherman.
The new record from Forewarned, Only God Forgives, is out. Metallic hardcore, straight edge, Nam/Melbourne shit. It's very heavy. It's very sick.
You got nammed.
You got nammed. You've been forenammed. And then another shout out. We have friends of the show, Crossface. They put out their self-titled record, and it rocks too. If you're a fan of HM2 pedals and fucking heavy riffs and mosh, you should listen to that.
Reese is eating pebbles as well.
Stop it, Reese. God, little shit.
He's just walking around wagging his tail, eating things he knows he shouldn't be.
It's fucking puppy man.
He's in his terrible twos.
He is in his terrible
Although
twos.
he's still very much one, but I'm signing up for 2 under 2.
All right. Well, should we get into the roundup then?
Yes.
All right. Let's do the roundup. Hello. Owen popping in to say, please sign up for the TPD Patreon. This is what helps us keep the lights on and keep the show going. The link is at the bottom of your screen right now, patreon.com/TPDpod. All of our patrons get exclusive access to Side B of our Roundup episodes, so you get a few extra tracks, as well as our feature album discussion and the full show experience. Our patrons also get exclusive access to behind-the-scenes, off-the-cuff chit-chat from all of our guest episodes. But the patrons are the ones who make all of this happen. For as little as $5 a month, you can sign up to the TPD Patreon, and it really helps us out, really helps us keep the show going. So shout out to all of our patrons, shout out to our executive producer patrons, you're the real ones, and yeah, thank you so much for watching the show. Hey, we're back. I've probably had to edit the title sequence in case it says weekly roundup and no longer says, should say release roundup.
Release roundup.
Mental note, edit that before you edit this.
Why don't you just call it the roundup? Music roundup.
No.
Okay.
It's because I didn't think of that before we said it. And now that I've said it, that's what it has to be.
Okay. That's fine too.
All right, so first up for you, Paige, I have a new track from Nam/Melbourne Punkers Private Function. Are you a fan of Private Function?
I've been to a few private functions.
Yeah, I bet you have.
I don't know if I'm familiar with Private Function.
So they've been popular for, say, probably like the last 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, they sound like a familiar name.
They got nominated for an ARIA.
Yeah.
They're like pretty big here in Nam, but I've never seen them live. Friend of the show, Chris Reese, does a lot of like stuff for them.
What a legend.
I know that they've got a pretty like crazy live show and a reputation for being pretty wild. They recently supported Green Day on Green Day's like stadium arena show.
I was just watching that. They went to Coachella.
They were like fucking throwing up on the stage. I believe one of the members like fell over and broke their leg or their arm or something.
Hopefully it's not a guitarist or drummer then.
I believe it's one of the guitarists. And then they got stuck in the Gold Coast during the cyclone. So that was pretty wild.
I think I might have seen videos of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, rowdy bunch of fellas and ladies, rowdy bunch of people, and they have
thems.
the thems, rowdy bunch of theys, and they've announced their 4th LP. It is titled
Shrug.
It's that like
that
the
emoji,
but it's not the emoji. It's like all the characters, and it's like
oh yeah, the line.
the shrug.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, that's
actually
just what
that's
it's called.
the best. That's existed since like fucking like MSN.
That's like pre-iPhone.
Yeah, that's old people shit, you guys.
Yes, we remember. The record, Shrug, for a lack of better term, is coming out on May 23rd. It is a sprawling 19-track album. and it's both a departure from their usual sound, but also containing some of the most Private Function songs to date. The lead single is called Koala.
Oh, I love that.
I know, you'll see why in a second.
I like koalas. They're all sleepy. Every time you see them, it looks like they just got woked up.
Woked up.
I fruit up.
That's so woke.
One thing about koalas, they stay unwoke.
Yes. According to frontman Chris Penny, Koala is a song about hugging the ones you love and holding them as tight as you can for as long as life lets you.
Like a koala bear hug.
Yes, correct. Let's have a listen to the song, and then I've got some details to run through once we get through that. So this is Private Function, Koala.
Koala, your dumb idiot dog is growling at a cabinet.
We'll sort that out. We'll be back in a second. We're on. Is he okay?
He's going absolutely feral for this ball.
If you're just listening and not watching, you can't see the eye contacts that I'm making with the camera.
Deep throating this ball.
You might be able to hear Reese just going to fucking town on a ball that he found in the park that he absolutely loves. But
he discovered it.
Is that what you imagine Private Function would sound like?
Not at all what I expected.
I don't think that's representative of the band.
I want it to be. Moving forward.
I think they just decided...
Let's go for Beatles.
I think they just decided to make a Beatles song.
Yeah.
That's what that sounds like.
And you know what? Fuck it. Do whatever makes you happy, you know?
It is catchy.
Now you were telling me a little bit about the film clip while we were cut away.
So the film clip, as you would have seen if you were watching the show, but if not, the film clip is members of the band in koala costumes without their like koala heads on, like they just kind of look like big koalas, and they're basically just dancing in the streets of Melbourne, going to the pub, just doing stuff, and then they eventually take like a little road trip and they go out to the giant koala, which funnily enough,
we recently also saw the giant koala, and that thing is cursed.
It's terrifying.
The only statue in Australia that I've seen that is scarier is that fucking stucco Captain Cook one in Cairns, because that thing is nightmare fuel.
I don't know what it is about Australia and our obsession with like giant statues of things.
Totally.
But like the fruit stuff is like
cute.
Fine.
That's cute.
As soon as you start getting into like animals and people, you get into like nightmare fuel territory.
Politics of Captain Cook aside, just a fucked statue though. Like fully terrifying looking statue.
Isn't he doing like a Nazi salute?
Yeah, he's got the Heil going on.
So politics not aside, still fucked.
It's very politically just all around cooked.
Just fucked in
Captain
general.
Cooked, if you will.
Yeah. Okay, but was Captain Cook autistic? Because it seems like you can be.
Oh yeah,
you can be autistic and get a pass.
Throwing his heart out to us.
You don't understand.
Know. See, even then, that's how I would throw my heart out. You know, wouldn't do a Heil. You know what I mean? Funny.
It's not an excuse to throw a ziggy.
He's just a weird dude. He's got incel vibes. Ugh, can we stop having him exist?
2 points to note on the new Private Function record. So it comes with sea shanties, folky detours, of which I believe Koala is one of them, as well as a 6-minute electronic freakout. And the album cover is 2,590 unique record covers. And it's just like a giant collage of them. And then when you buy the record, you get a custom magnifying glass to go over the record and look at each one of the individual album covers.
That's sick.
Yeah, super weird.
That sounds like puzzle stuff.
Yeah, it's
and
cool.
I like puzzle stuff.
You heard it here, folks. She likes puzzle stuff.
The more you know.
All right, let's move on. Next track I've got for side A. This is a new band on my radar. Comes courtesy of TPD patron Chris. Shout out to
Hey, Chris.
You're a real one.
Absolute homie.
This is European hardcore outfit Ritual. They have been on hiatus since 2012. So they're back for the first time in 13 odd years. They started in 2005. They played over 300 shows in 19 different countries. And I guess they're still mates. They wanted to get back in the saddle and have another crack at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saddles. Bucking Broncos.
Saddle Club.
Fuck yeah, Stevie was my favorite.
The first single from their new
One
record.
for everyone.
I was waiting for it.
Hello,
I gave you a little pause.
This is me.
I knew it was coming.
Okay.
The new album from the band is called Songs for the Haunted. It's out on September 12th through Love Records. First single is called Silver Lining, and it is a melodic kind of anthemic track, which is a little bit of a switch up for the band. But I wanted to play you the B-side, Trust, because that has a little bit more fire and a little bit more grit to it. And it reminds me of Gallows.
Putting the B-side on the A-side.
Putting the B-side on the A-side. I got a little quote here from the band. They say, whereas the old Ritual were above all an angry band, here we hear a new hope, which is perhaps also based on the sense of community that has always welded the childhood friends together and is now more than ever aesthetically effective.
Yay!
We love Friends. Totally Friends. Hey, Reese, what's going on?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so I'm not going to play you Silver Lining. I am going to play you Trust, which is my favorite of the two new singles. So let's do that. This is Ritual, Trust.
When the pain of future loneliness starts aligning me from present tense, I can tell what's real and what is not, and all I can do is trust. When the years collapse, try to take.
And we're back. See what I mean?
Yeah, catchy.
Got that little bit of Gallows flavor. It's that like catchy, melodic, like hardcore punk stuff.
Yeah.
They're doing the softer, more anthemic stuff really, really well as well. But
This is the shit that got you goat.
yeah, I'm just a Gallows guy. Like
You know, one thing about Owen, he is a gallows guy.
I am a Gallows guy. But it's
Get
sick,
outta here.
and I'm stoked for the band to kind of get back and do their thing. I mean, 13 years is a fucking long time.
Yeah, that is a long time.
It's an incredibly long time.
13-year hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, what have they been doing? Having kids.
It's like a whole teenager.
They've had children. I'm willing to bet it. But that's okay, because you can do that and still have a career.
Yes, we know.
Shocking. Some people will tell you otherwise.
Moving on, I have a Long Island outfit, Somerset Thrower, one of my favorite bands of the last few years. They are back with their first new music in 4. Hello, buddy. What's going on?
Slong Island.
Slong Island.
And get a slice.
The quartet blend kind of like, I guess, kind of like melodic hardcore of that like Long Island variety, but with more of like a punk rock kind of influence.
Okay.
Still very much in that Long Island tradition of bands. I'm thinking of your
Koyo?
Movie Lives, Iron Chic, your Koyos, your...
That's what I said.
Yeah, all of those bands. Your
That's
Crime
what I
Stereos.
said.
In that lineage,
Owen
for
was
sure.
wearing that Koyo merch that was like someone in Long Island wants to, is it shoot you or kill you?
Kill you.
And it's just someone with a gun, and we were in the States. And I was like, stop fucking wearing that shirt, please. I'm nervous, okay?
Imagine getting killed for Koyo merch.
That was before it was Trump's America. It was literally during his inauguration.
It was,
so
correct.
We were feeling a bit more ballsy about doing shit like that. No one was going through our phones at the airport, put it that way. And if
No,
they
no.
did, we may have been deported.
Correct.
Because we feel ways about Trump.
You feel a certain kind of way about things. The band has announced their third album. This one is called Take Only What You Need to Survive. The album comes out on July 11th through Smart Punk Records. I have a quote here from vocalist Frank Trafficante.
Oh, that's a cool name.
Cool name.
Traffic
Frank says, quote, "This was the first song we wrote for the record, and it inevitably became the first single. As we continued writing, I wasn't sure of its place on the album. The band convinced me it was good, and John Markson, producer, made it come to life in the studio. It reflects on being young and pure and standing on your convictions as an artist. As it's tongue-in-cheek, it is sincere."
Okay, cool.
So,
okay, as is tongue-in-cheek, it is sincere.
wow. This is where you're waiting for the title of
That's
the song.
a paradox.
Let's have a listen. This is Somerset Thrower, Never Going to Therapy.
Oh. Okay, yeah, I get it now.
I'm still trying to place it down with the lights on when the show is over and we're laid up. I didn't wanna believe this was the time. I was making offers I could stand by.
What'd you think?
I loved it. It kind of sounded like Luca Brasi,
Yeah,
the Tasmanian Devils.
from one hemisphere to another.
But they're from Long Island.
Yeah, something
Like the iced tea,
yes, like
not the rapper. Or is he? We don't know.
I mean, Ice-T is a rapper.
Yeah, but is he from Long Island?
I don't believe
I
he's
don't
from
think
Long
he
Island.
is.
I believe he's from Los Angeles.
Ah,
I believe. I'm
Los
not sure.
Angeles.
I just kind of assumed that he was from Los Angeles, but I honestly don't know.
Los Angeles didn't get anything from you?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
No, I agree with you. I think Somerset Thrower could definitely fit on a bill with Luca Brasi, no problem. It's that kind of
love that, Bill.
it's like anthemic, put your arm around your mates, fucking sink a pint type
Yeah,
music.
for sure.
And like I was saying, they do come out of this like very steeped kind of Long Island tradition of a whole bunch of different bands, like seminal emo bands like Taking Back Sunday. But then you've also got like The Movie Life and Iron Chic and Koyo and Crime and Stereo.
I guess I see how they fit in that world, of course, but they have very much branched out into something a little bit more unique for
Yeah.
right now.
Well, I was reading the press material. Shout out to Alexa, who shot over the album and the press material. I've already heard the new record rules. But one of the main influences that they're pulling from on this one is Jimmy Eat World.
Oh, yeah,
Which I think
cool. I can hear that.
I can definitely hear that. So
Yeah.
a little bit of Long Island, a little bit of Arizona with Jimmy Eat World, a little bit of different influences. But
Arizona.
the songs are catchy, the hooks rule, Frank's lyrics are great. Yeah, I'm just stoked for them to be back.
Yeah, I like them. They sound like a lot of like older, more not like late 90s punk bands, I think. In that poppy, like
Yeah, for sure.
buddy bro way. You
Buddy
know what
bro
I mean?
way.
Like, we're all friends.
Yes.
Yay.
No, I agree with
And
you.
they don't sound like they need therapy. So
Well, that's Frank's tongue in cheek, right?
Yeah.
It's like he's sincere, but also tongue in cheek. Maybe he goes to therapy. Maybe he
he's
doesn't.
mentally well. Can't relate.
Next up for side A, I have a new find that came through kind of like Spotify, but then also Bandcamp. It's a band that I haven't featured on the show before. So they're from San Diego. The band is called Sledges. You might be watching Reese do some little like halftime hardcore parkour over there in the corner. So the band's from San Diego. They're called Sledges, and they started playing together during the COVID lockdowns in 2020.
Oh, cool.
Now they put out.
I mean, not cool. That was a shit time, but you know.
Cool for them.
Cool that good things came of it.
Yeah. The band got together and put out a debut EP in 2023 called Losing Pace. That one got a decent reception. They then got picked up by Quiet Panic Records.
Ooh.
And that roster includes Slow Crush, who we featured on the show, as well as Filth is Eternal and Mutt. Actually, all bands that we featured on the show.
But I was like, you haven't named anyone we haven't featured yet.
So Quiet Panic are going to re-release the EP, Losing Pace, with 2 new songs. And Paige is out of frame because she's disciplining Reese. He's currently chewing on one of my pebbles.
Owen's Pebble. I'm having a hard time with this dog today.
He's just looking sad over there.
Dad's Pebble.
Yes. Quiet Panic are going to re-release the EP. So it's the four-track Losing Pace EP with 2 new songs to get the band a little bit more push on some of that material. So I'm going to play for you one of the new singles, one of the 2 new songs. But the re-release comes out on June 9th. So this is Sledges, Fading.
Okay, cool. Let's do this.
Your thing is I'm living and falling in and out of my own view. I don't expect to call it, 'cause see is not enough to move on from. I wanted to pretend.
Thoughts?
I love his Billy Corgan-esque type vocal, but
A little bit
like
of Smashing Pumpkins in there, for
no
sure.
hate to Billy Corgan, but it's a little less punishing. You know what I mean? Like,
Fuck it. She just went all in on Billy Corgan.
I didn't mean to sound so cunty. I'm pregnant and unmedicated. But you guys know what I mean, right? Like
Yeah.
sometimes that Smashing Pumpkin sound smashes a little too pumpkin-y.
The enunciation isn't as pronounced. Not
No,
as nasal.
it's very controlled, very diaphragmatic. Is that a word? I don't even know. Out of the diaphragm. Of
don't
the
know.
diaphragm. Alone.
Yeah, I realized in the first segment I didn't actually describe what they sound like or what kind
I
of
was
genre.
not, like, I felt like I went in real raw on
so
that
yeah,
one.
I kind of raw dogged the band to you, but yeah, I would say if you kind of fuck with or listen to any kind of like heavy, alternative, shoegaze, adjacent stuff,
Alone.
like
alone.
there's stuff in here for you. Like
Yeah.
you would enjoy that.
Yeah, for sure.
I have in my notes, if you frequent Reddit enough to argue whether the Deftones is shoegaze or not, then this is probably for you.
Ouch.
That's me.
I don't like being seen this way.
Yeah. Let's go to our final track for Side A this week. Very excited to play you this one. So there is a new gothic metal project in town,
Oh, he's reeling us in.
specifically labeled as Gothic Sludge. This is the new project from
Sludge.
multi-instrumentalist talent Jordan Old of 2 Minutes to Late Night fame.
Of course.
The
As
project-
opposed to Jordan New.
I'm sure you heard that all the time at school.
Oh, I used to get a lot of dumb jokes about the name Paige, so, you know, it could be worse.
I'm just saying, you're as good as one of his bullies in school. So
I'm as good as one of my bullies. So.
The project is called Blood Vulture.
Ooh.
They have signed to Pure Noise Records, and the debut album is
I love
called
Pure Noise.
Die Close, and it's
Oh.
coming out on June 27th. I have
Like die like dead? Or die like, you know, die at a different color?
no, Die is in dead.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Die Close.
That was a fair request for clarification.
D-I-E, not D-Y-E.
Well, okay. I'm sorry I'm not psychic, all right? I just wanted to know. And maybe our listeners at home wanted to know too.
Okay, that's true. That's fair. Maybe she was providing context for our listeners and watchers.
I'm helpful,
so-
actually.
Yeah.
So
Thank you, co-host of the show.
you're welcome.
I have a quote here from Jordan about the debut single from the project, which is called A Dream About Starving to Death. And Jordan
Sounds more
says,
like a nightmare.
says, this is a song I wrote about a vampire who realizes he is about to watch the world end. He has lived past the extinction of humanity and lost count of how many days he has been hungry, and he realizes that soon there won't be an Earth anymore. He's not sure whether it will explode or just rot and crumble, and he's curious about whether he'll disintegrate or just float forever in space.
Starve to death.
Yes.
Which technically, like, vampires don't starve to death.
No,
They just kind of become.
they get emaciated
I mean,
and just
it
live.
depends on the vampire. If we're talking Dracula, doesn't starve to death. Anne Rice vampires don't starve to death. Twilight vampires do not starve to death. I don't think, any vampire I'm familiar
What we
with.
need is like a hypothetical scenario and then like a tier list of like famous vampires and be like, okay, Is Spike from Buffy going to die? Yes or no?
I don't remember.
Lestat from
I think they
Interview
can,
with a
like,
Vampire
it's
gonna
the
die?
same
Yes
even
or
on
no?
Buffy. Like, they just get in a really weakened state. You know, like Lestat, everyone thought he was dead because he was starved, and they said, actually, he drank the blood of the dead, and it was set on fire, and then he was starved, and then he ate alligators in Louisiana,
Yes, this is true.
in the bayou.
Okay, well, let's have a listen to the song. This is Blood Vulture, a dream about starving to death.
Yeah, let's do this.
Every night I'm dreaming that I'm starving to death. Every day I'm gasping for breath.
Every night I'm dreaming that I'm starving to death.
It does kind of sound like a Nosferatu guy, just
Totally
like
does.
jamming out on a band. I like it.
We got up and danced. That one had
We were dancing at one point.
that had some stank.
It did. I've been thinking about this a lot, and I think there is kind of this resurgence of this kind of like horny metal, for a lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Like, I know people really love Typo Negative, and Peter Steele was kind of like the guy to really kind of like kick off that sound, but I think that is really kind of coming back. This kind of splits the difference to me between
Does Sleep Token fall under this banner?
kind of, but
Not
in like,
sonically the same, but in the horniness and the metal adjacent.
but see, like, I wouldn't call Sleep Token like gothic.
Oh, I think you might offend some people with that one.
Well, I just think it's true. Like, it's not gothic in the terms of like
I don't know,
its
if
imagery.
dipping yourself in black paint and wearing like robes around isn't gothic, then what are we doing, people?
Yeah, look, I know that there's a lot of like ritual
Aesthetically.
ascribed to it, but
You calling them posers?
no.
Because
Hey, why you put words in my
I
mouth?
heard Sleep Token fans can be as ruthless as a Taylor Swift fan. And that's two Sleep Token as well, you know?
I mean, look, I've been here for many years on
yeah,
the Sleep
we
Token bandwagon.
definitely listened to Sleep Token before it was cool.
Correct.
And I will look like a douchebag saying that. I don't give a fuck. I did. I was there in the trenches.
I think Blood Vulture for me kind of splits the difference between like Typo Negative and like maybe like some early Pallbearer.
Oh yeah, I could hear early Pallbearer.
And to me, like in particular, there's an EP that Pallbearer put out where they have a Typo Negative cover of Love You to Death, and it fucking rocks.
yes.
So that's like the exact
That's
sweet spot.
the sweet spot we're in here.
Like
yeah.
Pallbearer covering Typo is kind of like the vibe that I'm getting here.
Yeah, that's nice.
And with the vampire story and the imagery, I think it's kind of perfect.
What do you think their deal is? Like on the weekend, do they just like do goth stuff? Like when you sound like this, are you like cool all the time? Or do they still have to pay taxes like the rest of us? You know what I mean?
I
So
mean,
like,
they're still just Johnny citizens at the
do
end
they
of the
wear
day.
spectacles and type away at their little emails just like me and you?
Yeah, but they have like a gothic keyboard. Like it's all kind of like done up.
I mean, I would argue I have a gothic keyboard. So.
You have like a neon keyboard. You have like a Raver's keyboard.
Have you ever heard of rave goths? Because you've just found one.
I've been into a night owl. I'm familiar with rave goths.
True. And that's specifically that one outside of Fat Louie's.
Yeah,
Where the
correct.
rave goths would always
You know
go.
exactly what I'm talking about.
I'm with you.
Okay, well,
Brisbane law.
Brisbane law, deep law. That brings us to the end of side A for this release roundup. Pretty excited about what we have on side B. If you would like to listen/watch side B, head on over to our Patreon, patreon.com/tpdpod. You get the other half of the show.
Come be a patron.
You get all of our bonus content. You get
Let
extra
us
stuff with our
patronize
guests.
you.
Let us be patrons.
We don't even ask for tips. Just what the membership levels
just
are.
a monthly sub.
You don't have to pay extra. So my service can be as shit as I want it to be.
Yeah.
And that's how Australia works.
really selling the upsell for Patreon there. But seriously, if you like the show, we have more songs over there.
Come support us. Those
We
are
got
our
feature albums. We got all
those are
sorts of stuff.
the heroes of the show. They keep the lights on every week.
Absolutely.
We owe a lot to those homies.
We do. We know.
And we'd owe a
too
lot
much.
to you too. If you signed up for the small amount of
$5 a month.
$5 a month. I was gonna say $5.99, but it's actually only $5, so
It's just $5.
cheaper than that.
Although, if you do it through the Apple App Store, they'll probably put a fee on there for you. So
Yeah, sorry.
Hey.
But no tariffs. Tariff free since '93.
All right. Well,
I
let's,
charged tariffs for like the first year of my life.
Yeah.
So
all right. Well, let's wrap it up, and we'll wrap up our show there. And if you want the
Reese,
rest,
do you want to
join
stop
us on
causing
Sunday.
utter fucking chaos and mayhem and say goodbye to everybody?
Nah, he's busy.
Yeah, he's busy causing
busy
utter
doing dog
chaos
stuff.
and mayhem.
All right. We'll catch you later. See ya.